Hello and welcome to this edition of Sled Talk. My name is Jaret Smith, Snowmobile Product Manager for the North American Snowmobile Division. Today we're going to take you through a walk around of the 2022 Yamaha Snoscoot. The Snoscoot has been a favorite of many families and young riders across North America since we reintroduced it. You might remember previously we had a Snoscoot and a Snow Sport. Those were fantastic snowmobiles for young adults, also youth and riders just getting into snowmobiling. So we wanted to make sure that we still had that transition step as you work your way up from your first snowmobile to your inevitable Sidewinders and Viper full-size snowmobiles. We want to make sure that there was that spot in the middle for you to get used to those bigger snowmobiles, more powerful snowmobiles. So if you start your snowmobile journey with an SRX 120, which is our youth snowmobile and our smallest snowmobile, you'll get used to the fundamentals of riding. But once you get on that 120 and you want a little more speed like a lot of little guys want nowadays, they're going to want to go to something bigger, and this is the next step up. So this is a Snoscoot. It's a 200cc four-stroke, so actually 192 cc's. It's electric start. It has a carburetor with a choke that's easy starting, and it has lots of features that are more comparable to a full-size snowmobile. So today we're going to take you through some of those features, what's new on the Snoscoot or what's changed in the last few years. If we start from the front, you'll note in the front suspension that we have an adjustable shock now. So the front shocks have a collar, and with that you can crank up the spring preload on the front shocks. This allows you to adjust for riders as they get older, as they ride a little bit more aggressive, and be able to put a little more preload on that front spring to allow the snowmobile to handle more the way they're looking for as far as the younger riders. The skis are a Yamaha ski, a little bit more flotation on the front end compared to a 120, a little bit more of aggressive keel because you have a little more performance now. So some of the small changes from a 120 to a Snoscoot. This one's finished in Yamaha Racing Blue with red and silver accents as you see here. The windshield is sculpted to help divert the snow away from the rider, but in the event that they are looking for a little more added wind protection, we do offer two different heights for windshields, and you can see this one here, that's the mid. So you go from the stock windshield to the mid, you're going to get a little more, and then there's actually a tall that's even higher yet. So that'll allow you to put more wind away from the rider. So if your little guy's getting cold, that'll keep them a little warmer this winter season. One of the neat features of the Snoscoot is also heated handlebars. So you'll see the little toggle switch right here. If the little guys are getting cold hands, you can turn on the heated hand grips right there. Then there's two elements, one on each hand grip, that'll stay nice and warm for them so they can keep riding around the backyard or having fun. Kill switches here. The brake system on this snowmobile is similar to more of the mountain bike industry. So it's a hydraulic brake from Hayes. It has a wave style rotor. Really good braking performance for the snowmobile size. If we look underneath the hood, when we first introduced Snoscoot, it was not an electric start. But over the years following, we actually introduced the Snoscoot as an electric start version. So all it takes is a turn of the key and the little guy will be able to go riding. These snowmobiles do like full choke and initial startup. They'll like a full choke, and then you want to use the electric start to start the sled. If you have something like the battery goes dead, you do have a manual recoil backup. So that one is there. On the left side of the snowmobile, on the clutching side, an SRX 120 is actually a chain drive. This snowmobile is more like a full-size snowmobile where it uses a CVT system. So it uses a primary, secondary clutch, and it uses a belt. So much more performance and a wider range of performance from this drive system. On this side of the engine here, we actually changed the carb a few years ago. This is a butterfly-style carburetor. So improved cold weather starting, improved mid-range performance, and just an overall cleaner, more refined ride and engine performance from that carburetor. As you look at the seat of the snowmobile, one of the key differences between a 120 and a Snoscoot is the seat. So a 120 seat will follow the actual profile of the tunnel where it's much lower for a younger rider or a smaller rider. The Snoscoot uses a raised seat, so it puts the rider a little bit more rider forward, a little bit higher, allows their knees to be bent, and it has a little bit higher handlebar. So this is really for those riders that are now outgrowing the 120 and they want a little bit more maneuverability, they want a snowmobile that's more towards their size. That's where the Snoscoot really excels. On the back of the snowmobile, you're going to see a track that's very similar to the Camso Cobra. So it is the Camso Cobra style. It even has a little snake gills, I guess you call them, your snakeskin feeling of the track there. It's a softer lug. It's a 1-inch profile. So quite a bit of off-trail capability with this track. The snowmobile tends to sit on top of the snow, so allows them to get into a lot of areas that are not touched or not groomed. So especially in a backyard type environment, if you're riding in a bunch of fresh snow, this will allow them to have a lot more fun without getting stuck as much as they would, let's say, on a 120. A lot more suspension as well on the Snoscoot. So you'll see full range of travel in the rear, and there's actually 2 adjustment points in the rear suspension. So as the rider is getting a little bit bigger or growing up, on the back here you do have a torsion spring adjustment, which is similar to a full-size snowmobile, soft, medium, firm. And you have the rear spring is like the fronts, where it's an adjustable preload on the spring itself. So you have more adjustment on the back to fine-tune the rear suspension for that rider. One other point we also have here is a tether. So the Snoscoots do come with a tether, so you want to make sure you attach this to the rider's jacket. In the event that they get separated from the snowmobile, it just pulls away and it'll cut the engine. So that's a really good safety device that you should always use when you're using your Snoscoot. Headlights are also adjustable. You'll see here is a high-low beam. So in the event that it is getting dark, you do have that high-low beam capability. And there also is actually an adjustment for the headlight that you'll see right here. So this little Phillips screw right there, that'll adjust the positioning of the headlight. So if it's pointed too far up or too far down, you can fine tune that for when the rider is sitting on it, that it's going nice and level and that it's not up to the sky or something like that. So Snoscoot's a very popular snowmobile for youth. We've had great success with this snowmobile. We hope if you have one arriving this year, or if you've already picked one up, that you'll have some really some happy faces come maybe Christmas morning as they get out and get to play with their new snowmobile and really start their journey as snowmobilers. So as you go from 120 and work your way up to the bigger snowmobiles, this is a really important part of that stepping structure is our Snoscoot 200 series. Thanks for watching the walk around today of the 2022 Snoscoot. Now I have one quick little clip to say farewell as we go into the Christmas and holiday season. So that wraps up this edition of Sled Talk. Now this will be our last video before the Christmas and holidays. We want to take you through some gift ideas for a snowmobiler. So if you have a snowmobile on your list, what are some things they might be looking for under the tree this holiday season? So I'm going to take you through a few things. First, simple, but everybody needs spare belts. So whether somebody's getting a new snowmobile or has an existing snowmobile with a few miles on it, a belt is a great idea for a snowmobiler to have under the tree this holiday season. Next one we want to look at is things like balaclavas. So in the cold weather, you want to prevent the draft and things in your head and your helmet. No one wants to be cold snowmobiling, so things like balaclavas are readily available from your Yamaha dealer and are a great stocking stuffer or gift idea. More of a bigger gift, but something to always consider, is a battery tender. So having a battery tender, especially in the off season, is very important, or even in the in season. If you're gonna leave your sled for more than a week or two, it's a good idea to put on a battery tender for the battery to make sure it's 100% charged. And when you hit those really cold weather days, that your battery is ready to turn your sled over and start your sled quick. So a battery tender is a great idea. When it comes to transporting your snowmobile, one of the other things to think about, and maybe it's even in an enclosed trailer or if you're storing it for the off season, is a cover. So if you put a cover on your snowmobile for the off season, you can prevent all the dust and stuff from getting on all of your paint and plastic surfaces. Also, if you're trailering your snowmobile in an open trailer, you want to make sure that you have a trailerable cover, such as the Yamaha cover seen here, to protect your snowmobile from the elements, protect it from the salt, and make sure that you're keeping your sled in the best tip-top shape. So snowmobile cover is another great idea. This one's more of a maintenance piece, but let's say someone was the type of person that wants to work on their own snowmobile, a do-it-yourselfer. We sell oil change kits for snowmobiles. These come with all the necessary oil, filter, and everything you need to get that pre-season maintenance done. So another idea that might be good for someone who's a do-it-yourself type person. Last one is more along the lines of a cosmetic piece, but we recently launched this year a new gas cap, and this is a billet gas cap. It has a laser etched Yamaha tuning fork, and it fits our Sidewinder, SR Viper, Transporter series. All of those snowmobiles fits the same gas cap. It's available in blue, red, and black, which is a great other idea for gifts this season. So as we end this episode, we want to thank you for watching the walk around of the Snoscoot. Hope you like some of the gift ideas we brought forward for you for a snowmobile on your list this holiday season. But most of all, we just want to wish everyone a great holiday. Stay safe, enjoy the time with family. If you get snow, hopefully you get out on some riding, get to enjoy that outside weather and get to have fun with your family and friends. So thanks for joining this episode of Sled Talk, and we will talk to you in the new year.